Selene clasped her fingers together. She could still feel his cold finger sliding across her skin, marking her with some invisible sign. Did Mother know what it meant? She seemed as surprised as Selene at the priest's sudden gesture and words. What did the priest mean by the Dark Lady being with her tonight? The moment the priest finished the benediction, Selene got to her feet. Amara stood as well. Mother continued to kneel with her head bowed. For a moment, Selene wondered if she should wait, but then she turned and left. If Mother wanted to talk, she would come. Selene walked down the long corridor and past the other disciples, ignoring the hooded glances sent her way. Amara followed her toward the back of the sanctuary. The smell of the incense continued to hang heavily in the air, filling her head with its overly sweet scent. The two sisters exited through the tall double doors and entered the corridor that led toward the main rooms of Rook Castle. Every few seconds, Amara glanced at her from beneath her hood, waiting for her to say something, but Selene remained silent. At the end of the hall, Amara grabbed her arm. "Wait!" Selene stopped, her lips pressed together. "What happened back there?" Selene turned and faced her sister. Amara pulled her hood back, releasing a cascade of dark auburn hair along her shoulders. Though she was loath to show it, there was a hint of curiosity on her otherwise sullen face. Do you think he was referring to the gifting?" If Amara's words had a physical form, it would be fire. Selene could feel the heat of her sister's jealousy and the stinging hurt in her question. If the priest's words were an indication that Selene was about to undergo the gifting, it was another log on the raging inferno between them. "I don't know." Even those words were hard to form. It was as if the priest had silenced her and her mouth had forgotten how to speak. Amara's face flushed and her hands clenched. "I will have my turn as well. I am also a Ravenwood, you'll see." She spun around and hurried to the left, disappearing around the far corner, leaving behind a wake of coldness. Selene stood alone in the empty hallway, her throat tight, her gaze lingering where Amara had disappeared. She had always hoped they would serve House Ravenwood together, as sisters when they came of age. If only the priest had marked Amara instead. If Amara received the gift first, perhaps it would have breached the chasm that existed between them. Instead, a wall stood between them. Amara wanted more. She wanted power. She wanted the prestige of being a grand lady. She wanted what Selene had, the rights of the firstborn. Instead, Selene had been born first. And she lifted her hand and rubbed her shoulder. Only inches away beneath her cloak was the mark of the raven across her back. No other Ravenwood had borne such a distinct mark. Her mother saw it as a mark of power. To Selene, it was an eternal source of conflict between her and her sister. Behind her, the muffled sound of voices and boots indicated the disciples were leaving the sanctuary. Selene turned right and headed back toward Rook Castle. She had no desire to be a subject of the congregants' curious appraisals. The farther she drew away from those hallowed halls, the more her feet felt like lead. Amara was right. The priest's cryptic words were a prophecy of her gifting. But never in the history of Ravenwood had a dark priest done such a thing. Why her? Her gift would come. It had come to every Ravenwood woman since before the time of Urbana Ravenwood. It was not a surprise. So why the mark on her forehead? Why the utterance? What made her gifting different?